I had several hundred miles to drive that day, but I wasn't in much of a hurry to get there. Maybe that's one of the things retirement's taught me is that not every mile between where you are and where you're headed needs to be gotten through. Sometimes that's where the good stuff is. It was late July. I have a friend who lives in the Black Hills of South Dakota, and I was going to go see him. About an hour into the drive, I stopped in a small town bakery, got a cup of coffee and a couple donuts, and I glanced down at the map for a few minutes to try to figure out the next portion of my drive. Most people use navigation. My car has a navigation feature, but it generally picks the quickest route instead of the most scenic route or the less traveled route. I'm the guy that travels on the less traveled routes. I don't know why people are always in such a hurry to get to where they want to be. The journey to me is just as important as the destination. I stay off of the interstates and freeways. I take scenic byways and state highways and back roads of all kinds. Today's trip was taking me through the Sandhills of northern Nebraska. And they're just a rolling grassland. The road that I was on was just a long gray strip of asphalt that disappeared over the horizon. I would catch smells as I went of fresh cut hay or cattle. And the valleys were the only places where the trees grow, generally pine forests. Along the route, I spotted a lone windmill not too far from the road. It was surrounded by a few black cattle as it spun slowly in the wind. So I pulled over on the shoulder of the road. There wasn't any traffic. I went to the trunk of the car and got a bottle of water from a cooler that I carry with me, and I just leaned up against the fender and kind of soaked in the moment. The only sound was the sound of a meadowlark on the fence and the slow creaking and groaning of the windmill as it turned. There was one lone cow lowing. I need this time alone. I need time to think and to clear my head of all of the demands that I place on myself. I just need time. I would have missed all of the scenes at 80 miles an hour on the interstate highway. I would have. I've got a few more of these stories about this trip that I took, and I'd love to share them with you. And if you'd like to come along, I'd be glad to have you. I'm Dan with the Retirement Shift, and thanks for stopping by.